Hello, 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 hello. Hey, y'all. It is me again, Tamika Collins. Welcome to my YouTube channel. You can also see me or be a friend of mine on Tamika Collins on Facebook. You can also follow me on TikTok at Coffee, COFEPH. And on Instagram, Coffee Sings, that's COFEPHSINGS, all one word. And we are reading the word from beginning to the end, from Genesis to Revelation. Okay, so we're going to recap because the last chapters that we finished were chapter 20 and 21. So my notes say Abraham has moved down south to Negev, which is a Philistine country, where there is a king called Abimelech. And once again, Abraham and Sarah have agreed to tell that they are sister and brother, which we found out that they really are. They share the same father. They have different mothers. And Abimelech takes Sarah um, into his kingdom, his quarters, but God comes to Abimelech in a dream and lets him know, hey, you got to give her back. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, hey, I'm innocent. I didn't even do anything with him. He's with her, and he said, I know you're innocent, but and I'm glad, my spirit was on you, so you wouldn't do anything with her, so you wouldn't curse yourself or your kingdom here. And so Abimelech goes back to Abraham and say, dude, what you doing? Here go your wife back, and here goes some treasures too. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no part of this. Um, and let's see. He gives him back his stuff because he doesn't want to be cursed. He gives him back his wife, and God blesses him and his servants after Abraham prays for him because they were infertile and they couldn't have any children. So he prays for Abimelech and his wives and his servants, and they end up being a fertile nation and having babies and things like that. And so also Isaac is born, and Abraham is about to throw him a party because he's about to be weaned. He's becoming a older young man, and Ishmael is seen and heard picking on Isaac. So Sarah tells Abraham, hey, you got to get rid of him and his mama. Okay. And God tells Abraham, obey your wife. I understand, but I'm going to still bless Ishmael also because he is from you. He is a part of your seed also. So I'm going to bless him and his descendants also. And he sends them off. So now we are at chapter 22. And it reads as such that Abraham's faith is tested. Sometime later, God tested Abraham's faith. Abraham, God called. Yes, he replied, here I am. Take your son, your only son, yes, Isaac, whom you love so much, and go to the land of Moriah. Go and sacrifice him as a burnt offering on one of the mountains which I will show you. The next morning, Abraham got up early. He saddled his donkey and took two of his servants with him, along with his son Isaac. Then he chopped wood for a fire for a burnt offering and set out for the place God had told him about. On the third day of their journey, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. Stay here with the donkey, Abraham told the servants. The boy and I will travel a little farther. We will worship there, and then we will come right back. So Abraham placed the wood for the burnt offering on Isaac's shoulders, while he himself carried the fire and the knife. And the two of them walked on together. Isaac turned to Abraham and said, Father? Yes, my son, Abraham replied. We have the fire and the wood, the boy said, but where is the sheep for the burnt offering? Let me take a little pause right there. Mr. T.D. Jakes, Pastor T.D. Jakes, has a message called I See the wood. I think that's what it's called. I see the fire, I see the wood, or I see the wood. Amazing, amazing message. You gotta go check it out. Okay. All right, that's my little piece right there. Okay. So continuing. Abraham says, God will provide a sheep for the burnt offering, my son. And they both walked on together. When they arrived at the place where God had told him to go, Abraham built an altar and arranged the wood on it. Then he tied his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. And Abraham picked up the knife to kill his son as a sacrifice. At that moment, the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven, Abraham, Abraham. Yes, Abraham replied, here I am. Don't lay a hand on the boy, the angel said. Don't hurt him in any way, for now I know that you truly fear God. You have not withheld from me even your son, your only son. Then Abraham looked up and saw a ram caught by its horns in a thicket. So he took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering in place of his son. Abraham named the place yaw'll, which means the Lord will provide. To this day, people still use that name as a proverb. On the mountain of the Lord, it will be provided. Then the angel of the Lord called again to Abraham from heaven. This is what the Lord says. Because you have obeyed me and have not withheld even your son, your only son, I swear by my own name that I will certainly bless you. I will multiply your descendants beyond number like the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will conquer the cities of your enemies, and through your descendants all the nations of the earth will be blessed. All because you have obeyed me. Then they returned to the servants and traveled back to Beersheba, where Abraham continued to live. Soon after Abraham heard that Milcah, his brother, Nahor's wife, had borne Nahor 8 sons, the oldest was named Uz. The next oldest was Buz, followed by Kemuel, the ancestor of the Arameans, Kesed, Hazo, Pildash, Jetlath, and Bethuel. Bethuel became the father of Rebekah. In addition to these 8 sons from Milcah, Nahor had 4 other children from his concubine Ramah. Their names were Taba, Gaham, Tahash, and Makkah. The burial of Sarah, chapter 23. When Sarah was 127 years old, she died at Kiriath Arba, now called Hebron, in the land of Canaan. There Abraham mourned and wept for her. Then, leaving her body, he said to the Hittite elders, here I am, I, a stranger and a foreigner among you. Please sell me a piece of the land so I can give my wife a proper burial. The Hittites replied to Abraham, listen, my lord, you are an honored prince among us. Choose the finest of our tombs and bury her there. No one here will refuse to help you in this way. Then Abraham bowed low before the Hittites and said, since you are willing to help me in this way, be so kind as to ask Ephron, son of Zohar, to let me buy his cave at Machpelah, down at the end of his field. I will pay the full price in the presence of witnesses, so I will have a permanent burial place for my family. Ephron was sitting there among the others, and he answered Abraham as the others listened, speaking publicly before all the Hittite elders of the town. No, my lord, he said to Abraham, please listen to me. I will give you the field and the cave here in the presence of my people. I give it to you. Go and bury your dead. Abraham again bowed low before the citizens of the land, and he replied to Ephron as everyone listened, no, listen to me. I will buy it from you. Let me pay the full price for the field so I can bury my dead there. Ephron answered Abraham, my Lord, please listen to me. The land is worth 400 pieces of silver, but what is that between friends? Go ahead and bury your dead. So Abraham agreed to Ephron's price and paid the amount he had suggested. 400 pieces of silver, weighed according to the market standard. The Hittite elders witnessed the transaction, so Abraham bought the plot of land belonging to Ephron at Machpelah near Mamre. This included the field itself, the cave that was in it, and all the surrounding trees. It was transferred to Abraham as his permanent possession in the presence of the Hittite elders at the city gate. Then Abraham buried his wife Sarah there in Canaan, in the cave of Machpelah near Mamre, also called Hebron. So the field and the cave were transferred from the Hittites to Abraham for use as a permanent burial place. Ain't that amazing? How just being obedient, all these things fall into place for you. God orders your steps because he said he's a light unto our feet, our path. He's going to lead us in the right direction in which we should go. And he's already prepared the place for us, not only here on earth, but in heaven. And that's good news, ain't it? That is so good news. I pray that you are having a wonderful time reading with me. I'm having a wonderful time reading with you, learning, and reading is good word. I love reading. So, what other book to read and have in your mind and in your thoughts and in your heart? He said, my words I put in your heart and in your heart, so you may not sin against me. And so the more we read, the more we study, the more we thank and serve him, the more he does for us, the more treasures he puts in our heart, in our soul, in our spirit, that we may continue to live and that we may shine our light for others to see and say, hey, come, see, taste. Because the Lord is good, right? He's so good. He's so wonderful. He's so awesome. I want to thank him for waking me up this morning, start me on my way. I want to thank him for you being here with me. And I will see you in the next taping, okay? Thank you so much for rocking with me. Peace.